everybody, this is Miss K and welcome to Miss K on Postal. So I come to you today to give y'all some tea. Listen, the tea's so hot right now, I had to get my phone out so I could tell y'all the tea. So listen, so I wanted to give my letter carriers, my NALC, National Association of Letter Carriers. I have some information for you guys I know you love because it's all about the shmoney, baby. If it ain't about the money, it don't make no goddamn sense, right? Okay, so wanted to let you guys know that as of the beginning of this month, April 7th, the National Association of Letter Carriers and the Post Office came to an agreement in regards to you guys getting underpaid. Now, this is not all letter carriers. This is for PTFs who are in step AA. Now, come to find out that y'all were getting underpaid when it comes to your Sunday premium, to your work hours, to your overtime hours, and your COLAs. Yeah, baby, they were fucking y'all left, right, and center, and you didn't even goddamn know it. No Vaseline, baby. Jesus freaking Christ. But anyway, so there was some calculations done, and these calculations were done from last year, leading up to this year. And we come to find out that the part-time flex letter carriers were not getting paid the correct amount that they should have been getting paid for their work hours. So this was agreed upon by the National Association of Letter Carriers and the Post Office. So at this point, what's going to happen is you guys are going to get back pay. You heard me, babies. Back pay, shmoney for all the cluster fuckery that you guys were not paid for from the get-go. So what's happening is, and I'm going to look on my phone here because it's so much information I want to give you guys and I don't want to confuse none of it. So what happened is, what they did is that when they went back and realized that you guys were not getting paid correctly and they did the recalculations, so they figured out that the dispute was centering around the fact that the pay was not, you guys weren't getting paid what the step AA was requiring for you guys to get paid at. So this would include, like I said it before, your overtime pay, your Sunday premium pay, your general wage increases. This will also be your COLAs, okay? So this is for PTF city letter carriers. And this will fall for you guys under Article 9, Section 8 in your 2019 National Agreement. So what's going to happen is, now at the time that this was agreed upon, this was settled, and this was done the beginning of the month. So what happens is April 8th, which is already passed, that is when the implementation will begin for them to calculate what you guys are going to get paid. So they're going to go ahead and start that, and it's going to begin on April 8th. So they're going to calculate from April 8th all of the hours that were worked beginning on that date. Now, it's supposed to reflect the new rates that are specified in your article that I stated before, Article 9, Section 8, which was covered for your step AA to get paid. Now, so what happens is, what they're going to do is the hours that you've worked from the 8th until, okay, it's going to be June or July, they're going to calculate those hours and go ahead and give you the rate that you're supposed to be given in order to get paid. Now, let me tell you what the rate is. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not know. Now, your Sunday premium rate is $5.53 per hour. Your straight time rate is $22.13 per hour. Your overtime rate is $33.20 per hour. And your penalty overtime rate is $44.27 per hour. So based upon the agreement, this is what they're going to start calculating you guys' rate as of April 8th. So that means about a week and a half ago, this had already started. So what's going to happen is, for you guys getting underpaid, they're going to go ahead and start that. And this, remember, this rate is for PTF city letter carriers, okay? Full-time regulars, don't come here with the foolishness because, you know, this ain't for you. They were calculating the PTFs wrong. They weren't calculating you guys. They were calculating the PTFs incorrectly. Now, what's supposed to happen is, what they're going to do is they're going to start the calculations on the 8th, and then they're going to go ahead and pay you guys at a certain point later on in the year. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's going to be August or September, where you will actually see the full calculations from the 8th on your paychecks. Now, you know how the post office is going to do it. You know they're going to tax the hell out of y'all. So do what you got to do to make sure you don't get taxed so that you don't get killed on it, okay? You don't want to get killed on it. But what you will need to be concerned with is that this was at step AA. So if you are a PTF and let's say you're not in step AA anymore, and maybe be based on your contract, because I'm not quite sure exactly what your agreement is, maybe you're not in step A anymore. Don't fret, because baby, if you was in step AA, starting 8th or 8th, and maybe you got bumped out or moved up or whatever in May or June, you will still get calculated from April 8th up until you are no longer in step AA, okay? So I also want to let you guys know that because of the incorrect calculations, so it says currently right now, PTFs who are at step AA were underpaid. So $125 per hour for each overtime hour worked, $1.67 for each penalty overtime hour, and 21 cents for each hour of Sunday premium. So the calculations that currently are resulted are in an 11-cent deviation of the straight time rates between PTFs at step AA and full-time regulars at step A. So there was a deviation in how you PTFs in step AA were getting paid compared to how regulars who are in step A are getting paid. So they weren't paying you guys compensated for what you guys were doing. So now they got to show you the shmoney, baby. So look, be on the lookout. And if you haven't been told, hopefully you guys may have had a service talk. Maybe they have circulated something in your office stating to you carriers, especially PTFs, what's going on, that they went ahead and they're going to recalculate your monies, and then you're going to get your check later on in the summer. If they haven't, baby, I'm telling you now, look forward to it. So hey, boop, hit them upside the head, baby. If they give you overtime or whatever they're doing, take it, because you're going to get paid for that, because they have to go ahead and give you that deviation difference that they didn't give you early on in the year. Now, you're probably saying, Ms. K, they say they're going to pay us, but listen, baby, they're going to pay you, because this was based upon a national agreement. So the Letter Carriers Union, the National Association of Letter Carriers, had to have a sit down because they realized that something was amiss in how you guys were getting paid. So like anything, there's a survey done, they're looking at numbers, they're looking at what you guys are doing, and they're looking at the money, and the money wasn't making sense, because you know what to say. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So it wasn't making sense to them. They went ahead and started looking into how you guys were getting paid and why it wasn't coming out properly, and realized that you guys weren't getting paid. You guys were getting underpaid. And trust me, I can't be a letter carrier, baby. It's too hot. Like, where I'm at, it's hot, baby. I ain't got time for all that. And that walking, and oh God, the dogs, and then people mailbox all fucked up and sticking on the stick. Nobody ain't got time for that shit. So I commend my letter carriers. So that's why I'm letting you guys know that you're going to get your shmoneys and you're going to get paid. If you think I'm bullshitting, baby, go on to the National Association of Letter Carriers website, and you will see that on there. It's clearly posted. They're going to have all the information that you need. This is where a lot of times we get our information from. Sometimes we get a little bit quicker because we hear things. So we just wanted to let you know. I am kind of late with it, but I just heard about it not too long ago. Excuse me, guys. And I wanted to make sure that you were abreast of everything that's going on. So remember, my PTFs, my city letter carriers, you guys have been fucking underpaid, baby, and underrepresented. And it's time for them to come clean and give you your goddamn cheese. So you're going to get your monies, and it's going to begin. It already began April 8th. Excuse me. So you will be able to see that later on. You're not going to see anything right now. It's just going to calculate. So if you went to go look on your pay stub, you're not going to see anything in reference to when it began, how they're calculating any of that information. You're not going to see that. It's not going to be anywhere on there. So I'm trying to make sure I double check for you guys when exactly is this going to show up on your checks, because you're going to get it on a particular time because they're going to calculate for a couple of months, and then what they're going to do is they're going to just go ahead and give you that on your paychecks. If I'm not mistaken, I'm just double checking my notes here because I want to make sure you guys know when you're getting your money, baby. Because we want you to get your cheese, baby, your cheese. Okay, so I see it right here. So it says what will happen is while you work the step AA prior to that date will tentatively be paid on that paycheck that will be received July 21st. So on your July 21st check, I don't know which pay period that is, but maybe it's not that far. You're going to get your money. So from April 8th up until that pay period right before you get paid on July 21st, you will be getting the difference. Now, for some of you, it may not be a lot depending on what you did. But for some of you, there's going to be a nice little chunk of cheese on your check. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you're well aware of what's going on. If you haven't been told in your stations, at your locations, hopefully you guys have a service talk. If not, you guys have the information, have a service talk or talk amongst yourself and let your fellow PTF city letter carriers know that they have been undervalued, underfoot, underscored, underhanded, not even underhanded, but they are going to be getting paid because you guys have not been getting paid. You're just due. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. That's just a public service announcement. I wanted to give you guys, my letter carriers, much respect, much love, and you guys are going to get your money. And always remember my postal freaks. Love and light. Peace.